Hey, what's up guys, Young46. Just going to do a quick walkthrough, maybe play the front nine here. Best of famous, so this is our FedEx round. It's round 3, so heavy winds and I think very fast. So again, just kind of another heavy winds walkthrough, except this time on some regular courses that aren't, St. Andy's. Again, like I've said in my other videos, really important to hit the fairway, especially on this hole. A lot of times people get caught in these trees and no good. So I'm just going to kind of play this by feel. I think it's somewhere right around there. I pulled it, but it's okay. I would rather miss long and left than short and right anyway. Worked out good. Alright, so as I've said in my other videos, heavy winds, if it's right to left, then I go and add one to the left. If it's left to right, then I add one to the right. So no different here. I'm going to move this one to the left, which for me would pretty much be straight right to left wind. So I'm going to play this 18. Pull up my ruler here. Okay. Alright, in terms of the wind here, let's see. What I do, like I said, I take the distance times the wind, and for me, I consider that to be what I call a 0.4. So that would be a 82% wind if I was playing that on moderate. It worked out, 480. So I'm going to add 3.7 yards. And again, course knowledge tells me this hole always seems to play, 2 to 3 yards longer than what it appears. Add our basically 4 yards. That takes us to 103. That's 104. I'm probably going to play this 106. And if I'm wrong, it's okay. Really, I just don't want to be left. That's pretty much the only place on this hole that could give you some trouble. So again, I'm going to play 106. So we're going to hit it about 95% on my wedge. And again, I'm going to go 18 over. So again, I use my ruler. If I didn't want to, I'm just going to go out here. And as I said before, so from here to here would be 10. Obviously half would be 5. So where it's at right now would be 5. So I know I need to go to 10. So we have 5 right there. There's 10. There's 15. And 18 would probably be, somewhere around about that. I can check myself, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, pretty dead on. Maybe just a hair off, that's okay. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to hit this 95%. Maybe just a tad bit harder. Pushed it a little bit. Again, it's about acceptable misses. Right's fine. It's pretty easy putt anyway. As long as I'm not over here, I'm in good shape. Alright, so as we can see, grid lines really, they're not moving much at all. I'm just going to play inside the cup. We'll go right on the outside of the cup, and I'm just going to play it for about 7. So I'm going to be ramming this. There we go. And again, that putt, I miss a little on the one side or a ding it, it's fine. I've got a good wind here, so definitely a hole where could make eagle. Things I want to watch, sometimes people try to carry it over here. It's kind of dangerous. Same thing over here. You can actually go into this rough. Looking at the wind, it's going to push it slightly to the left. So I'm going to play this way. And if I miss late, it's okay. The wind's going to help me out. I just don't want to miss early. So miss late, the wind should pick me up here. Make up for my mistake. Okay. And again, when I did my congressional walkthrough, this hole seems to play. When you hit an iron into it, the numbers sort of lie. Is what I say. You have to play a little more when you hit an iron. 3-wood seems to play pretty true. It could just be the 85 irons play like this. I'm not sure. but I've definitely noticed that with mine. All right, so 225 times 15. Okay, sorry, let me restart here. Got interrupted. Again, so I took the yardage, 225 times the wind, and I'm going to divide that. You know, it's not quite straight down wind. It's got a little bit of bend to it. So for me, I go 290. So that tells me that it's going to play almost 12. And I take off the, it's going to go about 2. So nearly, we'll go 13. So 225 minus 13, it's going to go 212. Now what I have to account for is the release because it's downwind. Me personally, I think 212, you know, this plays about 5 yards longer. I think 212 is probably going to land somewhere in this area, but it would release. So I feel good about 210. So I'm going to play 210, about 96%. Again, acceptable misses. You know, I don't want to miss over here. I don't want to flirt with it. In terms of the best angle, you know, if I could be somewhere in here, anywhere from here to here, leaves a very easy one. You don't want to be back here. Over here is okay, but it leaves a tough breaker. So I'm just going to aim just a tad light of the hole. That way, if I miss late, I should still be okay. Same thing missing early. All right, 96.7, about right there. Dinged it. Let's see what happens. Not the greatest leave. Again, right where the spot where I said I didn't want to be. So. Little breaker, but manageable. All right, so again, I'm going to use the dots method. Obviously, you'd like to go from the front view, but I just don't feel like I can get a good read off of that. I feel a little better about this read. But you can kind of tell the dots are definitely moving slower. You can just sort of view it. So I'm going to go front view. Looks like the first one here is a 3. Second one's a 3. I'm just going to try to go quick here. So we'll say the first 3 are 3. That one's moving a little slower. We'll call that a 2, so that's 11. Looks like a 3. We'll go 14, 17. Looks like 2, so we'll go 19, 20, 21, say 22. Let's see, for very fast, I'm going to take this by 0.8. So it's going to be about 27. And we said it was 22. So one thing that I did not point out is the length of the grid. So from here to here would be 25. So I think that's probably going to be somewhere right about there. So we'll go right there. That's our 22. Give it a look. See how we feel about it. I feel pretty good about it. And we'll go 30 and 27. I'm going to put a little more on it, just because if you look at the wind, it is going to hold it up a little bit. So I'm going to go about 28. Looks like we got it. Alright, so I've only got 10 minutes left, 10 minutes in the video, so we've got 30 seconds. I'm just going to go ahead and kill it right now and start part 2.